Okay, now we're going to go over, we've done throwing and catching, now we're going to go over some basic patterns and some strategy for football. A lot of this is a review for most of you, but some of the little things will hopefully help you. Okay, Mrs. Harris is my quarterback. Now when I do a square out or a square in, it's in relation to where the quarterback is or the center of the field. So if I do a square in, I'm going to be going in toward the quarterback, in toward the middle. If I do a square out, I'm going to go out away from the quarterback. And when you do these, they have to be sharp cuts. These solid white lines are 5 yards apart. A typical yard is a normal adult person walking about 3 feet is a typical yard, right? So it's 5 yards across. I need to be, when I make my cut, I want to stay on that line. And the reason why we do this, and we're going to show Mr. Travelpiece play defense in a second, is I want to have sharp cuts to get separation from my defender. If I round my cuts, it makes it easy on the defender to see what I'm going to do and come in and maybe make an interception or bat the play down. Okay, so the first pattern I'm going to do is a square in. So Mrs. Harris is on my inside, 5 yards. I'm gonna when I get up, especially when it's wet, you're gonna see my feet stutter. I'm gonna take a bunch of choppy steps so I keep my feet underneath me. Then I'm gonna plant, and I'm gonna plant with my outside foot because I'm going this way, and my hands are gonna come right up. I'm gonna make that dime, and I'm gonna be ready for the ball. All right, expecting the ball. So here's the first one. This is a square out, or square in, excuse me. I catch it, I tuck it, and I go, and I make sure I head straight, catch it first, tuck it second, and then head north, or head straight ahead. Now, that one was a square in, so a square out, and this you could go longer than 5 yards, but right now we're doing 5 yards. The next one we're gonna go square out. So notice how I catch it first, I watch it. You can see NFL players that make $10 million a year turn their head too quick and drop the football. So watch the ball into your hands, then tuck it. Now, the next one, people call these a button hook. There's all sorts of names for it. This is going to be a 5 yard stop. I am going to stop. I'm going to go, the defender thinks I'm going to keep going really far down, but I'm not. I'm going to stop on the dime. So, remember, you got to fool the defender. I'm running out of breath here, sorry. You got to fool the defender. You got to make the defender think you are doing a fly pattern or going long, and then you stop on the dime. If I were to stop, and if I were to float, that makes it easier on the defender to come up and bat the ball away, okay? All right, the next pattern I'm going to do, lost my quarterback here, sorry, is a post pattern. Now, if you know your football history, they used to put the goal posts in the end zone, like on the goal line. So people would hit the post and get seriously hurt. So after 10 years of concussions and people not knowing their first names, they put the post all the way to the back of the end zone. So when you're doing a post pattern, it's like a 45-degree angle. After 5 yards, I'm going to go toward the center on a 45-degree angle. Make sure you always look over your inside shoulder too. So if I make a cut, make sure I look over my inside shoulder. If I make a cut, make it over my inside shoulder. So that's always going to help you. We always have students look over the wrong shoulder. So that was a post. Now I'm going to do a flag. Why do they call it a flag? They put flags, now they're pylons, but they used to put real flags in the corners of the end zone. So now this is kind of, I'm going out away from Mrs. Harris. This will be a flag pattern. All right. Now,
stretch it out.
That was my best catch of my career. Hopefully we get that in super slow-mo. And I hope Mr. Paneros is in. I think I pulled about 12 muscles. That was a flag pattern, okay? So I went out. The last thing, you could always make combos. So what you could do is you could say, I'm going to do a stop and go. So say she's not going to throw it yet, but say I go now, and I stop, and what does that defender do? They run up on me, and then I go, and then I keep going. Last pattern we're going to do is just a fly pattern. People call it a zero. Just go long, all right? And you just run straight, and you just run a straight line by the person, and she's gonna throw the ball, okay? All right, here we go. This is just a fly pattern. Oh, no. Oh, boy. All right.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so that was a fly pattern. So now, I'm gonna put my mask on, Now that Mrs. Harris is, okay, because we're getting within 12 feet, so I can put my mask on. Now, Mr. Trelpe's gonna be a defender. He doesn't know what I'm gonna do, okay? So I'm gonna do a square in, and I'm gonna round my pattern. Watch what happens. Here we go. Okay? He didn't know what I was gonna do. So we're gonna do a different pattern. I'm gonna do a square out, and I'm gonna be sharper. So by me running a sharp pattern, it's going to make the defender not know where I'm going to go and create space, and then I can actually get open for, thank you, Mr. Melvin. Now, boy, these masks are tough. Okay, lastly, when you're running patterns and you're on a team, there's 3 or 4 of you, make sure you have different levels. Make sure you have people going short routes, medium range routes, long routes. Every time in a phys ed class I watch everybody, what do? Everybody goes long. Make sure, and watch out for crossing patterns. You don't run into each other. That's all I got. I got to catch my breath. Thank you.